compliance with Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, entitled Open Public Meeting Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as specified in the Act. Proper notice of the public meeting was provided in the notice. Said notice was posted at the entrance of the Board of Education offices, mailed to the Nutley Sun, the Star Ledger, the North Jersey Herald, the Nutley Journal, mailed to the Nutley Township Clerk, advertised in the Nutley Sun, posted on the district website. This is an official meeting. The flag salute, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ms. Conclusion, please.
Mr. Cornicello? Mrs. Stanchek Martin? Here. Mr. Ferraro?
Here.
Mr. Klein?
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Here.
Ms. Russo? Here. Mr. Scalera? Ms. Sherman?
Here.
Mr. Sposano?
Any correspondence?
We do not have it.
The report, you have a report or no? Sure, I'm sorry.
Dr. Belong.
Dr. Valani, Superintendent's report, please.
Good evening. Can you hear me without the microphone? On Wednesday, September 2nd, we opened school for students. I want to thank all of the administrators, faculty, and staff for ensuring the day was welcoming for all of our students and their families. As we kick off the school year, open houses have been scheduled in each building. The middle school open house took place last Thursday. The elementary open houses are scheduled for this Wednesday, September 16th, mostly at 7 o'clock. Please check with your buildings. And the high school open house is scheduled for this Thursday, September 17th. Freshman orientation at 6:30 and open house at 7. On September 8th, Mr. Lasvik gave the State of the District address at the high school. The presentation and the video are both available on the district website. On September 10th, Thursday, Mr. Kaczynski, Mr. Carnicella, Mrs. Vanchek Martin, Mr. Klein, Ms. Sherman, and I were in attendance at the Yannicott School PTO meeting with Mr. Lazovic. Mr. Lazovic answered questions regarding the constantly changing population in our elementary schools and the process for housing students. The Board of Education continues to listen to public input. We'll review the up-to-date information for Yannicott School and the district as a whole in committees this month. Mr. Lazovic will work with the PTO from Yannicott School to schedule a meeting at the end of the month to announce the final decision. On Friday, Dr. Riley, Ms. Egan, Mr. Williams, and I, along with Mr. Lazovic, attended the September 11th memorial service outside Town Hall. The Nutley High School Chamber Singers performed at that ceremony. Today, Mr. Lazovic, Mrs. Yeamans, and I attended the Lincoln School Centennial Celebration. They're having lots of events related to their centennial. Today, the students and staff met in the front of the building to sing the school song and Happy Birthday to Lincoln School. For athletics, Raider Nation kicked off the 2015 fall athletic season. Mr. Lazovic attended football practice as well as the varsity game for girls soccer and volleyball. The girls volleyball team upset Verona in 3 games. Girls soccer beat Belleville 6-0 and boys soccer upset Belleville 1-0. The boys and girls cross country teams both swept their meets for the week, both starting their season 3-0. This past weekend, our varsity football team beat Belleville 62-12, with Craig Merkel breaking Nutley's rushing yards per game with 310 yards. As part of our strategic communications work, the new athletic website is up and running for fall and winter sports. The site is planned to be complete, it's in process, it's planned to be complete by the end of the month. The site will allow community members to follow our teams and receive score updates from their mobile devices. Also, Raider Nation apparel is on sale. Order forms are on the athletic website and the sale ends on September 27th. Related to professional development, we've had a number of sessions in district already this school year. Our K-2 teachers were trained in Words Their Way training, which is an approach to word study instruction. That was last Thursday. Last Friday, our 7-12 English teachers had the opportunity to work with Dr. Gravity Goldberg to learn about various English teaching methodologies. And we will continue our writers workshop training for K-8 teachers at the end of this month. Aside for the open house dates, which we already talked about, just to update you, there's Cheer for the Cure competition. It's a competition for cheerleaders with the proceeds going to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. That's on Tuesday, October 6th, and homecoming is Saturday, October 24th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mrs. James?
Thank you. As Dr. Valani stated, opening day went very smoothly, and I'd also like to express my thanks to the business office staff and the entire buildings and grounds crew for all the work that they did all summer long leading up to that opening day, ensuring that all the supplies were ready and available in the schools and that the buildings were ready to welcome back the staff and the students. Just a reminder to all of the parents that the free and reduced lunch forms were sent home the first week of school. We have already processed all of the applications that we have received, which is numbering a little over 200. So if you haven't submitted your forms yet, I encourage you to do so within the next week. The Nutley High School Security Entrance Project will be going out for advertisement for bids at the end of this month. And Mr. Nicoletta and I are currently working with the architect to construct the punch list for the Lincoln School. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Are there any committee reports? Thank you. We now come to the portion of our meeting where we allow members of the public to address the board. In this section, we allow questions or comments on only the resolutions addressed in tonight's agenda. Our board regulations number 601 allows 20 minutes for these communications. Each person shall be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask you to try to stay within this requirement. Speakers may speak more than once only after all others wishing to speak on a topic have been heard. All statements will be directed to me as the chairperson. No one may address board members individually. Please be reminded that if your statement is too lengthy, abusive, obscene, irrelevant, or redundant, your participation may be terminated. Please remember to always state your name and address each and every time you address the board, and sign in with Mrs. Bacusa before you take the microphone. Anyone wishing to speak on resolution items, now is the time. Thank you. Ms. Danchek, will you take academic resolution, please?
Yes, Mr. Kuzensky, I'd like to move academic resolutions 1 and 2 as written. So,
Discussion. It was seconded by Brenda. Mrs. Sherman. Ms. Sherman. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin?
yes.
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
I will move administration resolutions 1 through 3 as presented.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro, will you take finance, please? I said,
I thought you said Mr. Klein, sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. I think I said Mr. Ferraro.
Yes. I'm having hearing issues. Yes, Mr. Vice President, I make a motion to move finance resolutions 1 through 10 as written.
Discussion. I'm sorry, second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
Mr. Klein, will you take personnel resolution, please?
Yes, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, I move personnel resolution 1 as written.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Ms. Sherman?
Yes.
In this section, we allow questions or comments on all school-related matters. Our regulations allow 30 minutes for these communications. Again, each person should be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask you to try to stay within these requirements. As stated earlier, all statements will be directed to me. Anyone wishing to ask questions concerning any school issues, now is the time.
The reason I came here tonight,
Do me one favor.
Sure.
To sign in with the secretary, Ms. Kakuza, please.
Kimberly Donahue, 27 Raymond Avenue. The reason I came tonight was to thank you guys for your thoughtful process of hiring a new special services director. You guys made the right decision. You have a lot of parents standing behind you, and we're happy to see going forward that we're going to have a continued leadership within the school system, and it means it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Kim Farrell, 120 Grand Ave. I know you guys were at Yannicka's meeting and what have you. We got word, I don't know how true any of it is or whatever. We know the situation with the overcrowding and whatnot. We were told that Washington School was brought up in all of it, that it's a possibility that it might be Washington School. Would this be something that you could come and address at our meeting at the end of the month to give us some, information to let us know what's going on as well?
Sure, and just to put you at ease, there was just some discussion that the numbers at Washington School also are increasing. And
Yeah.
it's an issue we need to look at down the road also, so I'm sure Mr. Lazovic and the board will be addressing it and coming to one of the PTOs or a set meeting is not an issue.
Okay.
I'll have information. when I come.
You'll have it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll have it, so it won't be the 2-hour presentation that Mr. Lazovic gave, but we'll have it.
How long do you think it's going to be before, because this has been a discussion for so long and been dancing around this forever as to what's going to take place with the building next door? Is one school going over, will there be a decision made soon, or do we have to wait till the end of the school year? How long is this, because it's been dragging out for a while, and I know there's a lot of very frustrated parents with not knowing what's going to take place, and one school's going to go over as opposed to all 5 schools going over. That's a big, big, big concern for a lot of parents, me being one of them as well. So, how long do you think this is going to?
It's a concern for us too. I would probably think from what our discussion has been going on so far, within the month, there will be a decision on what our plans are for Yannicka 6th grade this year, and then we're going to continue to have discussions about Washington School in the entire district. Our overall plan, as you know, is to move all the 6th grades to the middle school. We're trying to get there as expeditiously as we can, doing the right thing long-term so that 20 years from now we don't need to deal with this again. So that's why we're working in conjunction with the commissioners to resolve this as soon as we can.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Vice President?
Sure.
I think we just need to clarify that the middle school doesn't have space to move all of the 6th graders. So
Oh, no.
it would require some type of
Right.
expansion, which is.
Yeah, if there is any question, you know right now that the middle school, the way it stands now, is not able to handle
Oh, yeah, no, that-
all of the 6th grades coming over.
Right.
So that our long-range plan is to look into some type of an expansion, and we're working closely with the commissioners to try to resolve that. Anything else? Any old business to come before the board? Any new business, Mr. Sherman?
Yes, at this time, I would like to ask Tara if you could please come up. Tara's going to explain to you in a little more detail, but she has brought a very interesting project. I'm going to let you introduce it, and then I'll comment.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time tonight. I'm Tara Spinelli. I'm the coordinator for Nutley Pace Car. This is a grant-funded program, sister program to Yannicka Walks and Walker Walks, funded by Partners for Health Foundation, whose mission is to make our communities healthier and better for everyone. And this is a grant provided to our health department that we applied for earlier this year and received, which was very exciting. It's really rather simple. Basically, we're asking residents, district staff, and employees, excuse me, local business owners and employees, anyone who spends any time driving regularly through town, to pledge to do a few simple, if challenging things at times, which is to drive the speed limit, stop for pedestrians in crosswalks, yield to pedestrians in unmarked crosswalks at intersections. A technicality of the law, but that's how that works if you're wondering. I know that's a little bit confusing. If someone's trying to cross mid-block, you're really not not supposed to have to stop for them. So pedestrians have a responsibility in this as well, to understand how to walk safely. And as parents, that's something we need to educate our children from a young age how to do successfully. Just being afraid to allow our children to walk is not going to teach them how to walk, or for that matter, set the foundations for safe driving. So it's really important for parents to understand developmentally what children can understand about walking as they grow and develop, so that they can become, safe, independent pedestrians. So that's the gist of the program. We have online pledge form as well as paper pledge forms. Magnets are available. I forgot to say that part. That's key. Brenda, I think, has one there. We're hoping that people will pledge and display this magnet on their vehicle, which basically tells other drivers why you may be going slowly, also known as the speed limit, or stopping because there's a crossing guard waiting to bring 15 children. That's one of the most alarming things to me, to see school crossing guards standing at intersections in crosswalks with a large group of children behind them waiting for traffic to break. That is astounding, and I see that every single day. So that's what we're trying to address. We're really hoping to get a lot of magnets out there. This is a program, all our best ideas are stolen or borrowed from someone else. This is a program that's been successfully implemented elsewhere, and we modeled ours on it. And it really, Brenda and I were talking about this on the way in, when you have the magnet on your car, you're suddenly thinking, let me slow down a little bit, let me be more aware. And when someone sees that magnet as a signal, they also understand, this is a culture change, and we really are hoping that people will participate. So we appreciate your support.
And you have a table set up outside tonight?
There is. I would love to sign anyone up this
I would expect all of
evening.
our participants tonight to stop and see you and sign up.
I hope so. And even if you would like to take a magnet and promise to pledge online, if that's simpler for you, that's great too. So and we encourage people to share this through social media, email, word of mouth, and just try to get people interested in pledging. So our goal is about 1,500 participants, which I think is very doable. Maybe we can exceed that. So thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tara had, this was about a month ago, I heard about the program. And at first, it sounded great. Yeah, we definitely should be stopping at crosswalks. We definitely should be shouldn't be texting. So then I picked up my magnet, which is a pretty large magnet, and I put it on my car. And I started doing my normal errands, and I'm like, wow, I'm really accountable. Like, this is on my car now, You've got to really adhere to everything. You're rushing from meeting to meeting. And made me think about it in the summer, when you go on vacation, right, you walk mostly, walk to the beach, walk to the ocean, you have no problem walking. The minute September rolls around and you're in your school mode, and you're in your back, you're going to your different classes and your exercise, your games, you're on the clock, you're running around, you're racing around the corners. And it's important, more than ever at this time of year, to remember to stop at the crosswalks. Put down the text. There's no reason you can't either, if you have to get to that phone, pull over and deal with the call. I'm sure 8 out of 10 times it'll wait to get to wherever you're going, but I understand sometimes you're waiting for your child to check in with you, so you might. Remember, pull over. It takes a minute to pull over and check on your phone. So that's what this is also trying to do. I'm sure most of you have seen on the news and on Facebook how many accidents, the number of accidents that have increased from text driving. I see it myself. I work in Newark, driving to Newark on 21. I can't tell you that sometimes it's not because there's traffic or an accident, it's because somebody literally is just texting in the middle of 21 as if the whole world could just go around them. And it does happen on almost a daily basis. So I'm really excited about this program, Tara. I know it seems large and it might seem daunting, but I think if we can get everyone on board, it'll definitely protect our community and our students. So thank you, Tara, for bringing this to the township. And I encourage everyone to grab a magnet, and if you can't do the pledge now, you can sign up online.
I just want to emphasize all the drivers in your household, not just one person representing the household, and as many cars as is willing to bear a magnet. That'd be great, because it really will you'll start to see it through town, really make an impression.
Thank you very much. I'll entertain the adjournment.
Second.
Thank you very much. Don't sit down.
Claire.
Don't sit down.